What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Burning Hammer podcast. And on this episode, we will be diving in to Bill Goldberg versus Gunther. We'll be talking about who's going to win the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. Plus, we'll talk about what other matches we think are going to go down at WWE Night of Champions. But as always, Dylan, before we get into that, let's get a t-shirt check here. You kick us off.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I wore this in a YouTube video recently, and I was very excited to break it out on the pod for an official t-shirt check. This is one I've had my eye on for years, really. And I decided to finally pull the trigger, send out an offer on Poshmark. It's been up there for a very long time, and he accepted my offer. So,
Nice.
happy to have that go through, but this is the Sheamus, the Great White, Bro Kick Hooligans t-shirt.
Very nice.
Yeah. There you got. It says Great White right there. This was got the old tag on the bottom, scratch logo. So you know this is a legit, authentic wear, and the Bro Kick Hooligans was a sick shirt that I had to get. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, dude, that shirt is so sick! I need that."
That's a good one.
And then
that's a good one for sure.
So, and gotta love Sheamus. Gotta love a fellow Irishman. Gotta represent my Irish heritage. So, I had to get something for Sheamus in the collection. So, happy it was a Bro Kick Hooligan shirt. And you got a pretty dope shirt on right now too. It looks like so.
I do. This is one. Potentially, I think it was our previous video or 2 videos ago. I did a little bit of a haul update and I showed off some of my recent purchases, and this was on there. But we have the Daniel Bryan yes from the Obey, I guess, template that we have here. Pretty solid shirt. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it or not. I think I'm going to end up keeping it because I actually do like it, and it fits a little better than the Usos one I have, which is odd because they're the same size. But again, I also got that tag at the bottom, man.
Yeah, dude, gotta love things. And honestly, I definitely think you should hang on to that one because you can never go wrong with having a non-black T-shirt collection, because every single wrestling T-shirt is black, it feels like. So,
100%. And so before we dive into the stuff we're going to talk about for this, we got to let you know that this coming week, Dylan, is Dog All-American Bash. We will be there in production on the call, Sacred Heart Church in Riverton, New Jersey. We are in for an absolute banger of a night of professional wrestling, so we better see you there. And if you're not in the South Jersey area, that's okay. You can subscribe to Dog's YouTube channel because all the matches will get posted on there as well. So, Dylan, they're really doing it. They're really doing it. Goldberg versus Gunther. Saturday night's main event, I believe July 12th is that one, if I'm remembering off the top of my head correctly, for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. We got a segment. Actually, I don't even think we talked on the podcast about Gunther beating Jey Uso. I think our last episode was right before that episode of Raw.
Taking a week off, kind of. Yeah, dude, Gunther is your world champ. We were predicting a new world champ, and we were very confident it was going to be Seth cashing in the briefcase.
Yep.
So, with Gunther just getting the win, no Seth, didn't see that coming.
No.
And it was a stunner to a lot of people. Jey Uso's world title reign comes to an end at 51 days. And the new World Heavyweight Champion is Gunther for a second time. And he makes his first appearance as the new World Heavyweight Champion and immediately is confronted by Bill Goldberg. And we are getting the final match of Bill Goldberg's career. It appears they're billing it as that now.
One last ride t-shirts.
Yeah, so the final match of Bill Goldberg's career will be for the World Heavyweight Championship. For some reason, part of me thinks that must have been like part of the contract that it like was a title match or something. I don't know. Like,
So I could see that for sure. I will say it also makes sense that it's for the World Heavyweight Championship because obviously that's like a 2.0 version of Big Gold.
yeah.
So like
So it's like
for that title
kind
specifically,
of title
it
can be kind of infamous with uh, Goldberg.
yeah. And I will say this, I felt so confident that Jey Uso was leaving Monday Night Raw without that title. Obviously, we just thought Seth was probably going to cash in. I didn't see Gunther beating his ass cleanly, which
Yeah,
is kind of crazy.
it definitely was a bit. It was shocking. I didn't expect it to happen
Yeah.
just like that. Um, it'll be interesting to see what they do with Jay now. Um, yeah, like you said, I think you worded it perfectly. It's like, um, as time gone has gone on, I think I'm a little more happy for Gunther than I am sad for Jay, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Um, but not that I don't feel bad for Jay whatsoever. I just like I don't hate it as much as I thought I did at first. I
Okay.
think it being Gunther has a lot to do.
Welcome to the dark side.
Well, I just love Gunther so much, man. So it's
Who
like,
doesn't?
it's hard to be like, oh, that's a bad idea, and then just see him kill it every time he does something. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I think two things can be true. I think like Gunther is a great champion, and I think it could also feel like Jay's run was not long enough and a little bit anticlimactic. I think both of those things
Sure.
are true and can be true.
So
Yeah.
I think because I was definitely excited. Like I wasn't sad once Gunther won. I was a little excited that Gunther was your champ. And yeah, I mean, I was just more excited that Gunther has the title back than I was sad that Jay lost it. Um, I don't know. The Jay thing feels like all right. We did it. Obviously, he's their like biggest star. They had to put the title on him. Let me ask you this, Dylan. Do you think he gets another world title run in him?
Like if I had to bet yes or no, I would bet no.
Agreed.
Yeah, especially after the clips of like his little kind of farewell with his son. Like, dude, when I saw him coming out with his son, I was like,
Oh,
he's losing. I
dude,
was
they love to make their wrestlers lose in front of their families, man.
and also I was just like that, and then along with I was like, why would he want his son to be coming out with him for his entrance right now? Because it's
Yeah.
probably his last entrance as champ.
Yeah.
So, not that I'm like, I wouldn't be shocked if Jay became a world heavyweight championship. If I wouldn't be shocked if he won it again, but I don't expect it. And I would say it seems like he is pretty okay with this being his one run as world champ.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't talk for Jay, but it was just like the vibe I got is that it's I think people are like not putting enough thought into the idea of maybe the Usos like want to wrestle together again. Like maybe
Oh,
they're
I'm sure they do.
no, but I'm saying like maybe they're at the part where like where Jay is like, I'm good. Like I got my
Yeah.
singles run. Like
Yeah.
if I go back to just teaming with my brother, that's awesome with me. Like that's cool with me.
Yeah.
Not that I don't think they'll do that because I think Jay has so much um, credibility and weight as a single star. But I mean, when they get back together and it's like, I mean, it feels like we got to get some sort of this new version of the New Day with a babyface versus a babyface Usos
Oh,
title,
100%.
and that will be like incredible. So, I mean, I'll tell you this. I mean, it's kind of a good transition, right? Right into Um, I mean, we don't even need to talk about Goldberg too much, truly. Like,
I prefer to not talk
yeah,
about
that's
it
what I'm
until-
saying. Like, it sucked. We all knew it was going to happen because it was reported that he signed a contract for his one last match. So, like, we knew one last
Yeah.
match was coming. I guess the biggest thing is that I just wish it wasn't for the world title, but of course it is. So I'm not that upset about it. I mean, like, it's annoying, but it's like I was expecting it. So,
At least it's on Saturday night's main event.
yeah, that as well. Kind of just get it over with, give it to him in Atlanta, whatever. Not the win.
What's the over/under in match length?
5 minutes, maybe less.
Okay. I think less.
Like, so that's the thing. Like, how does Goldberg not just like get squashed?
It's a great question. I don't know. Because they put themselves in a interesting spot where you have one of your more dominant champions in recent memory, which is Gunther, who's obviously famously been a champion for over 80% of his time in WWE. So it's like, and then you have somebody who was, Goldberg said he was 176-0 in WCW. So it's like, all right, realistically, you have a shadow of what somebody once was versus your most dominant and fierce competitor. Like, Gunther should beat the piss out of him.
Yeah, he won't.
But that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be annoying. But I was gonna say we can use this to transition to. There was an empty spot in the King of the Ring tournament. Of course, that there was speculation of who's gonna be the person to fill that spot. And then I don't know why we should have known that's sitting right there for Jey Uso to lose and then join the King of the Ring tournament. I mean,
Yeah, very odd.
So a bit, yeah. So, and then we get into Jey Uso wins his first round matchup. So we're down to the final four of the tournament. We don't need to get into exactly how we got there, but our two matches are Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. And we have 4 baby faces in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. 2 babyface
Sure do.
matchups, and then we're going to have a babyface finals.
Yeah.
Unless we get a turn, which is very possible. Who's most
Also-
likely to turn heel out of these 4?
Randy.
Randy or Sammy, right? Probably. It's not going to be
Yeah.
Cody or Jay.
So I will say this: they're also in a tough spot because it's like their 4 biggest baby faces.
For sure.
So it's like it will not be Jay, it will not be Cody. So that leaves Randy and Sammy. I don't think it's going to be Sammy, but also
It also is. There's a very good chance it's nobody. But
like I don't think it will be anybody.
But if it was gonna be, probably Randy. Yeah.
Also, Randy versus Sammy is happening for us tonight. It would have already happened by the time this is out, and the same with Asuka versus Alexa Bliss. So we'll have one half of the finals here. So I will say it was really annoying that they were just like, Adam Pearce is going to decide who's going to be this final person in this match, and they announced it like a week before, Gunther versus Jay. Just like, don't announce the match, and then you can just like announce it after.
Yeah, just like announce the matches 1 week at a time or something. Like, just like put themselves.
Don't be like 3 people and a mystery person, and then it's going to be like, all right, and then Jay loses, and it's going to be Jay, and then Jay's in the match without any real explanation.
It's just like, yeah, they just create unnecessary problems for themselves a lot of times.
Boy, do they.
But yeah, we got this final 4. I mean, who do you think is making it to the finals? I mean, I feel pretty confident about the final matchup that we're going to get.
I couldn't feel more confident.
Yeah, I think we both feel that it's going to be Cody versus Randy, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Cody versus Randy at Night of Champions, which is going to be awesome. Going to be an awesome match.
Boy, is it.
And I think I just don't see the Randy heel turn happening, mainly because I don't see Randy turning heel while Cena is still heel. I don't think they can coexist as heels. Like I think
I agree.
um so that's
Yeah, like I don't think we're getting a heel turn at all.
no, I don't think so either. Maybe some tension, but not a heel turn.
I think he contemplates the Punk kick on Cody.
Oh, totally. It's probably how he loses, right? Contemplates the punt kick, won't do it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, and it's like 100% it's going to be Randy versus Cody after their segment.
well, that's the other thing I don't like how they've been doing recently. Like they've been lining
Little
up.
on the nose.
They've been a little too on the nose, dude. Like they're just setting it up like give me some twists and turns. This long-term storytelling thing that Triple H is obsessed with, right? Triple H is like obsessed with long-term storytelling. So, but then it negatively affects the minor progressions of the story on a weekly basis, right?
Yeah.
So all he's thinking about is the end goal. Like so much. Like all he's thinking about is the end goal. So he just goes whatever. He doesn't think of how we're going to get there. He just is like I want Jay in the King of the Ring. I want Jay to lose the title and him to be in the King of the Ring tournament. Not let's find a way to make let's find the best way to make that work. It's like let's find the easiest way to make that work. And it's like that's not things predictable can be good. It's getting too predictable. Like it's getting to where like I mean like and I'm excited for Seth's run with the briefcase that's currently happening. He better not fail his cash in. I'll say that. We don't have to talk about it, but
he won't.
Yeah.
He won't.
I'm just scared that like whole like Punk will like cost him his cash in or something.
Nah.
Do you think he cashes in on Punk? You think Punk wins the title eventually and then he cashes in on Punk?
So I think that's an interesting thought for Night of Champions.
For sure.
Like I think it's more likely that he cashes in at Night of Champions than he does further down the line if Punk becomes champ and then he cashes in on him.
Yeah. I'm just like, I think Seth cashing in is either going to be like to stop Punk from being champion or it's going to happen directly after Punk becomes champion. Like it's got to be. But it's like almost like, and that's fun, but like, do I love that? Do I love that? Like, we know, like, is it that fun that we all know exactly how this is going to go?
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe he'll prove me wrong, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like,
yeah.
And I don't think the Seth and Punk story is the best example because I think there's so much just like real life tension and heat there
that's one that can get away with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like I don't think it's the best example, but like I mean just the example is like they literally just told us that Seth was going to win Money in the Bank. And then it happened. And then it was like I understand that like to an extent they tell us what's going to happen every week because there's somebody saying I'm going to win and the other person saying they're going to win and somebody's right. You know what I mean? Like somebody's telling the truth. Somebody's going to win. But it's like it feels like since Royal Rumble or since Elimination Chamber, they've been like since Elimination Chamber, it feels like it's been like, all right, this is probably how this is going to go. Let's see what happens. And then that's how it goes. And then it's like, and there's been obviously like some stuff here or there. And this isn't me just like shitting on the product. Like I love wrestling. I'm always going to find entertainment in it, in all of it. Like, Yeah, I'm more just saying like I think the long-term story because he wants this big giant payoff at a big event, but now we're missing out on like the little twists and turns that we get along the way because all they're worried about is this big giant payoff and getting to that big giant payoff, and it's like
Yeah.
yeah, like just give me some twists and turns. Like give me like I don't know, like I'm just saying like why couldn't you have like even
They
with
don't need to like tease us with everything. Like with the segment with Cena and Cody from I guess it would be 2 weeks ago by the time this is out, but it's like Cena and Cody came out and then Randy came out and then Randy was basically like, I'm gonna win King of the
No,
Ring
yeah,
even if it means I
exactly.
have to go through you, Cody.
Yeah,
It's like, all right, well that's obviously gonna be the finals.
yeah, they just like didn't
Once they
need to,
revealed the field, like yeah, you don't need to do that.
they didn't need to just set up the promo for the finals at the beginning of the tournament. Like and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just little stuff like that they're just like
So how does Jay lose to Cody? Is Jay taking another clean loss?
probably.
That sucks.
I mean, he's not beating Cody clean
No, he's not.
unless we're like completely shocked.
I mean, I just don't like, and I get it's a clean loss to like your top babyface in Cody, but it's like that still hurts.
Totally.
You just lost the
Yes.
title clean to Gunther, and then you come back and you're gonna lose your next match clean to Cody. Like
It almost like cements that like, oh yeah, that was just a temporary run at the top.
yeah.
Like
And maybe they could do some interesting stuff with him doubting himself more because that's obviously something they leaned into a lot leading up to his title match against Gunther initially, to where if he is like main event material and if he can beat Gunther, so maybe they can do more stuff like that and then kind of have that's how you get the reunion with Jimmy kind of coming back like to his aid
I'm really
to like
curious.
help him a little bit, but it's like I just don't know how much longer like Jay's going to be a single star before we link up with Jimmy again, which is fine.
yeah, no, I'm totally with you. I think it's probably happening sooner rather than later.
I think the Raw tag division could use
Totally. I think it could use a huge boost from the Usos. I feel like yeah, it's just been like too predictable as of lately, and that's how you end up losing your like weekly viewers, right? Like that's how.
yeah.
I'm not saying this is me going to like stop watching on a weekly basis because obviously this is like my number one hobby and I'm probably gonna just like keep watching, but I don't know. Like there's times where if I just know exactly what's gonna happen, I might as well just watch the pay-per-views or the PLEs. Like if I know if I know that we are getting Cody versus Randy
Yeah.
in the finals of the King of the Ring. Like I know that. So it's like I don't need to watch. I understand like I could watch I understand it's like other than the in-ring wrestling aspect of it, it's like what's the point of watching then?
Yeah.
Because I know what's going to happen. I might as well just wait for the big match.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's what I'm going to do, but it's very easy for people to start thinking that way. And it's very easy for us to just feel like we're wasting our time. Like 3 hours or 2.5 hours on a Monday night is, I don't know, time I could be spent with my significant other. But instead, I'm watching Raw. And if I just know exactly how Raw is going to go every week, that's not as fun.
No, it's not. So let's talk about the Queen of the Ring, Dylan, because this one's I think is a little more interesting to where I feel decent about who I think is going to win, but I also think this one is more open. So right now you have Roxanne Perez versus Jade Cargill, which will happen on Raw. Then you have Asuka versus Alexa Bliss, which would have already happened. So what do you think the finals is going to be for that, Dylan?
I think give me. See, this one is tough.
Big time.
So I think there's a really good shot Jade wins the whole thing.
I feel pretty good Jade is going to win.
Yeah, so I'll say Jade, maybe Asuka. Jade versus
Like,
Asuka.
I could see any one of these four women winning.
Yeah, I could also easily see any four of these women winning the whole thing. So I think if I had to guess, I would say Jade versus Asuka right now, but I'm not super confident in that at all. Like I think Naomi might cost Jade in the semis, and Roxanne might make it to the finals. Like I think maybe we get a Bianca heel turn. I don't know. Like I think there's a lot of different scenarios. I really have very little idea where this is going to go.
Yeah, because I could easily see them doing Asuka versus Io.
Totally.
Which would be a banger. But then I also feel like it kind of somehow maybe Naomi cashes in before SummerSlam, and then you get Jade versus Naomi for the title.
Yeah,
at SummerSlam.
My gut tells me it's going to be Jade versus Tiff at SummerSlam, and Naomi cashes in at SummerSlam.
You think Naomi's holding the briefcase till SummerSlam?
It's not that far away.
It's true. It's probably like
it's in the beginning of August.
Okay, month and a half ish.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Yeah, I'm just always more speculative with the women's briefcases because they hate to have them hold it.
Yeah,
for a
little while.
Did she?
She held it for a bit.
Okay. I think they just had like 2 times where they had someone cash in like a day or less.
Yes, it happened like 2 or 3 times, I think.
Which sucked. But so it is tough because I do like I think like Roxanne winning would be interesting. Because obviously she calls herself the Prodigy. You have to start earning some accolades to help back that up. But I think now they're in a weird spot with obviously Liv Morgan got injured, so I think they're in a tricky spot now with the Roxanne stuff because Liv was very heavily involved with that Roxanne thing, with the Roxanne storyline with the Judgment Day. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how they play that stuff out. And I also wanted to bring up, like, what do you think like Rhea's gonna do in like the near future? She came up short at Money in the Bank. She came up short at the Queen of the Ring. Like, what do you think's happening with Rhea?
I mean, it's not going to be long before she's back in the title picture.
Okay,
that's just a fact. I'm not sure, man. I'm really not sure because I still think Io versus Rhea might be the main event of Evolution. Like, I just think because I think
I like that.
I like the main event of Evolution. It's just like, who's your 2 biggest women right now?
Yeah,
Io and Rhea. Put them against each other. Like,
I can get behind that.
And like, I don't know this hot. I don't want, unless it's a rematch from Mania with Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want any sort of. I don't want a multi-person. I don't want any special stipulation. I want a one-on-one wrestling match. That's the main event of Evolution between 2 of the 2 top women's wrestlers in the company and on the card.
Okay.
And
I like that.
I think there's arguments to be made about who you could say those 2 women are, right? Like, you could obviously put Tiff in that argument. There's other people as well. To me, it's Io and Rhea right now.
Okay.
And I think with a pay-per-view or a PLE like Evolution, a straight up, no gimmicks, no nothing, no fanciness, just one on one wrestling match between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley.
Let him throw down.
Let them tear the house down and show that those are two of the best wrestlers on the planet. Not women's wrestlers, two of the best wrestlers on the planet. Um, that's what I think you do with the main event of Evolution. I think that's the best way to do it because that's what you do with the men, man. Like you give them the men don't you don't force the men to have like all these gimmicks and stuff in the main events for them. Obviously they do it for the most part, but it's like for the most part, the main event of a PLE is going to be a one-on-one world championship match, and I think showing that the women are like fully capable of like doing that. I mean, we already know they are. I think we're almost even um we're now at the point where it's like, all right, after this we need to now move to are they going to start getting the same amount of time on regular PLEs and regular weekly television, and or is it just going to be like this yearly evolution thing where they're just like, oh, like put on a special extravaganza for the women, or is
Yeah.
evolution going to be regular? Is or all women's pay per views going to be a regular thing? Or I don't know. They're just like it needs to go further than just all right. Evolution's back, all women's pay per view. And I think the best way to push it even further, push the movement even further, is take the two best women's wrestlers in the world at this moment, in my opinion, with Rhea and Io, and just let them throw down.
I agree. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what match main events Evolution. And I hope Evolution doesn't get too overlooked with Saturday night's main event being the night before. I hope they do put a lot of time and effort into the matches and into like promoting it. And it seemed like we were going to get Nikki Bella versus Liv, or maybe a tag team of the Bellas versus Liv and Raquel potentially. But now we're obviously not going to be getting that. So it's going to be interesting to see what Nikki Bella does on that show. But because we got another match added, Dylan, to Night of Champions. And that's going to be Dirty Dom versus the Phenomenal One, AJ Styles, for your Intercontinental Championship. So we obviously have Punk versus Cena. We have that IC title match. And then we have the two King and Queen of the Ring finals matches. So what other matches and how many do you think they will add?
Punk versus Cena, Dom versus AJ. That's 4.
Yep.
Probably 6 or 7.
Okay.
I think 6. I'm expecting 6. I think they go like 1, maybe 7, but yeah, I'll say 6.
Do you think Bayley versus Becky?
Either that or a triple threat with Lyra. But that might happen at Evolution too, so I don't know. Like there's Saturday night main event, Night of Champions, and Evolution all within like 2 weeks of each other. So it's like there's a lot of different directions.
Back themselves into a corner.
But I think there's a good chance it's Becky versus Bayley or triple threat with Lyra.
Okay. So do you think, I feel like they gotta I could see New Day being on the card.
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe Jacob versus Solo. Yeah, I think I don't know. There's a lot of different ways they could go. They haven't like really like pushed anything like front and center as like, oh, this is what they're probably gonna do. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
And so Yo, we
Profit.
definitely.
Street Profits on a damn PLE.
For the love of God. So, actually, I wanted to talk. This will be the last thing we kind of talk about because I at least needed to bring up the great work that Ron the Truth Killings has been doing.
The truth.
I mean, my goodness. Just instantly one of your best performers.
Dude, he's so good. And if you're familiar with Ron the Truth Killings, if you're familiar with his work in the early 2000s outside of WWE, NWA, TNA, NWA champion, Ron the Truth Killings.
Twice over.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the damn truth. And dude, he's just so good. And the merch is awesome. The Killing Spree shirt is so sick. I can't wait to see where we go with this thing, man, because we got R-Truth versus John Cena tonight. I forgot, on SmackDown tonight.
Yeah. Non-title match.
Non-title match, obviously.
Which,
again,
why?
don't know. R-Truth.
2 times he's facing Cena for a non-title match?
Yeah, I think, Ron just wants to put some respect back into John Cena, so
Wants to teach him a lesson.
I cannot wait to see where we go from here with Ron Killings.
So, obviously, he's probably going to get new gear. You think he's going back to the long pants?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he cooked Bubba Ray.
Oh, yeah. Who the fuck is he talking to? Bro, oh my gosh. Yeah, highly recommend going to watch that. Go watch what Bubba Ray said about Ron the Truth Killings, and then watch Truth's response to that, because that was
It's
insane.
awesome. So I'm very excited. I don't know how this match is going to go, but I'm very excited that will probably be the main event. And obviously, get to see Cena, which I want to. We'll talk about it probably next week, but it feels like we're running out of dates for Cena. So
yeah. Well, they just announced August 18th, Monday Night Raw, Philly. So hopefully.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, just announced today. Just saw it.
Okay.
So hopefully that's our chance to see Cena. You got to think they got to put him in Philly one more time. So
At least once. Yeah,
I got to think that that's our chance.
we're there.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to wrap up this episode of the podcast. Again, you got to make sure to smash that subscribe button. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening, make sure to follow or subscribe, whatever it is that your streaming service does. You can sign up for the Patreon for $1 a month, dude. Join the World Champion tier. You get all of our content early and ad-free. June 28th, Sacred Heart Church, Riverton, New Jersey. Dog, All American Bash. We better see you there. Make sure to subscribe to Dog's YouTube channel as well. And be on the lookout because we have a special announcement coming in the near future. So be on the lookout for that. With that being said, I'm Mark Izzo. He's Dylan O'Brien. And this has been another episode of the Burning Hammer Podcast. We'll catch you in the next video.